Are you in need of some love advice, money advice, or career advice? If so, simply purchase your reading via irishpsychic.net. Readings are delivered within 24 hours and can give you all the details you require. Tarot, pendulum, crystal ball. The answers all lie within. Readings start from as little as €3, £2, $4. Log on today and see what's in store for you. irishpsychic.net for all your psychic needs.
This is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio makes you want to move.
When you have a great melody,
A song can last
Forever. Instantly connected.
I love it when the beat goes boom.
iHeartRadio is the way I get to you.
The biggest song, the biggest artist,
All in one place.
iHeartRadio.
I'll see you there.
Check out the weekly rundown with yours truly, the Professor, every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on 102 DLG Radio Orlando.
This is Da.Latin.Groove.Radio.Show. This show could quite possibly, and sometimes does, contain adult content. And basically what that means, if you're under 18, they're going to talk about sex and drop the F-bomb a few times. So you're not supposed to listen. You've been warned, and now it's time for the adults to get their groove on.
DLG coming at you for free, broadcasting worldwide with the Professor by my side. Yeah. Hip hop party rock music playing rock the clock, live stream, girls stream. We just hit the mainstream. Yeah, this is my dream, and you are all my lights, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Jessie J.
Doing great. How about you?
Rhinestone Cowboy, Pink Hat Guy. I don't know. Michelle.
All right, there we go. All right, guys, so I want to go ahead and introduce my co-host. You guys said you couldn't hear me. This is my co-host, no other than the Iceman, Kevin Tapee. And, of course, he is the man. So how are you again, my friend? I'm sorry. People said they couldn't hear us.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm in the chat, and I see somebody in there. Jim is telling me that she can only hear me, but I think he or she should be able to hear Mike by now.
Yeah, I think Jim is one of our good friends here. It's a he, by the way.
Thank you.
Go ahead. It's a he.
You say Jim?
Yeah, Jim.
Jim, yeah, from...
He's one of the mods over at the website.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and show some love. But anyways, getting back to the show again, joining us live is the Professor. But again, like I was saying, we need to give him a new name because what he looks like tonight, man, I tell you. I don't know. Like, we definitely got to give him a new name. Iceman.
I don't know. It looks like he attacked Justin Bieber's closet and lost.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. But with that being said, guys, please welcome the Professor, Sir Cowboy. Giddy up. Giddy up. Giddy up. That's going to be your new...
I'm the gay cowboy, people, and I am secure with my sexuality.
It's the Professor, Michael Benson.
I am secure with my sexuality. So don't forget it.
He's very secure with his sexuality.
Yes,
It's the gay cowboy.
There was a time in my life I wasn't secure with anything.
Oh my!
I have overcome.
It's gonna be one of those shows.
I'm a true man. I can wear pink anytime I feel like it.
Hey Jim, I appreciate you coming by and showing us some love, and we'll see you. We'll definitely see you later on, buddy. We'll be here for the next couple hours. So, thank you for coming by, Jim. All right, listen. So this week, I'm leaving the show up to the guys, and of course, you know, I wasn't expecting Professor to walk into the studio today with that freaking hat. As soon as he walked into the studio, my girlfriend just left. She's like, "Oh hell no, I'm out of here." It was hilarious.
Oh man!
So that means next week, Kevin, you're gonna have to step it up and have to catch up. You know, get in the game.
All right, I'll have to see if I can find a hat to wear or something different.
The
best I can do tonight is a Star Wars T-shirt.
Well, you know.
What's the DJ's T-shirt? I got my T-shirt too.
Go ahead. Kevin, what's the DJ's name? The old guy. Him and Stern used to bat heads. I'll pop his mouth off one time. He wears the cowboy hat. He does the... What's his name?
Don Imus.
Don Imus. I'm Don Imus with a pink hat.
No, you're Don Anus.
No, that would be Darn Anus to you, not Don. That would be Darn Anus to you.
Something like that. Oh man.
So how was your week, guys? Would you guys do anything special this week?
Normal week for me, just a kind of a mild weekend. And
your week is normal, Professor?
Yeah.
You walk into this freaking studio looking like a gay cowboy.
Hey man, you can't handle.
Listen, there's nothing normal about you.
Hey, if I was hip hop or something like that, I wouldn't even get a beep out of you, because I'm not,
man,
out there normally like that.
You're out there okay tonight.
You're out there
today. Dude, you're freaking out there tonight. Seriously.
I'm what?
You're freaking out there today. I tell you.
Hey, I beat to my own drum, Bubba.
Oh, wow. I just want to say...
I'm not even going to touch that one.
I want to let you guys know, on just one of the networks, we got 3,542 listeners.
Are they listening right now?
Yes.
For those of you who don't know the Professor...
Don't grow up to be like him, please.
Unlike my other two co-hosts here...
Let your babies grow up to be pink cowboys.
I'm very secure with who I am.
Oh, are you?
And nothing bothers me like that. I can wear any color I want. I can go out in public and not even worry about it. The only thing you won't see me do is wear a pink Speedo, which DJ Friktion wants me to do.
Listen, we've made a bet. I said if you was to go out there and wear a pink Speedo, listen, you got it going already. You already got the pink hat. You need the Speedo.
Would you like me to go in the bathroom, drop my chores, and come in with my pink boxers on?
Now, if you have pink boxers on, that'll be freaking hilarious. Matter of fact, I think we should do that for the anniversary show.
You want to do that? I'll come on live with the pink Speedos.
Well, first of all, you can broadcast for your home and do that. You're not going to do that here.
I'm going to come in here with a pair of shorts on and drop them, and I'll be in my pink boxers.
Goodness.
How's that sound?
Talk about thinking pink.
And then you can hear it live, and I won't care.
Oh, my goodness. He's going to get it kicked off the airs. What are you going to do?
Save the tatas.
Save the tatas. You got that damn right. All right, so what about you, Professor? Anything special this week?
No, not really. just kind of getting back into the groove. With my foot's getting starting to feel a lot better.
So you're feeling a lot better.
Yeah, I went did 2 miles on the treadmill today at the gym and pumped some iron, and then got done doing that and went to the beach, kicked back and relaxed for a couple hours.
Would you guys
trim some hedges?
New Smyrna?
Huh?
New Smyrna.
New Smyrna.
Awesome.
It was long line trying to get there, but I got there. The beach wasn't that packed. But.
Hey, speaking of which, speaking of the professor, I saw your commercial today, but unfortunately, what happened? Did they cut you out of it?
Which one? Well, there's a couple of them.
Oh, okay. Because there was one that came up on TV today about the value pond, whatever it was, and I was like waiting for you to pop up.
About Mason Avenue Pond?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a big difference there now.
Well, the Mason Avenue.
So yeah, and we're getting probably ready to he's probably getting ready to do another one. I'm in 2 of them.
Oh.
There's 2 of them.
Where you play the clerk and yourself? And the cosmetic. Talk about diva. Who's a freaking diva this freaking radio show?
I'm on 2 of the commercials. One of them, it's just at the end. I'm there with the group picture of everybody who works there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing my black gun shirt, and then there's another one where I'm walking around and I'm at a glass case and I'm playing the customer. I'm buying something, so I'm acting like I'm a customer.
So that tells you, ladies and gentlemen, that these commercials are all set up. Just kidding.
So
there's nothing spontaneous about it.
I'm just messing around.
Well, if everybody watches the commercial, they know, because they see me on the other commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I've been at the gym and working out at the gym at the Planet Fitness once, and at no, it was at the Y twice. My commercial comes up and I'm on the treadmill and somebody says, "Hey, that's you?" I said, "Yeah, really?"
You're conceited.
Now, are these commercials on YouTube so you could post the link so the rest of us who don't live in your area could watch
Are they on YouTube?
It's on Bright House. I really don't know. You got the YouTube Bright House Mason Avenue Pond commercials.
Yeah, we'll have to look. Yeah, I think Kevin, you should go look that up on YouTube and see if it comes up.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is on YouTube.
But you never know.
That's what I'm saying. Bright House or somebody from Bright House may post it, or I don't think.
You don't think the store might have posted it? Don't they got their own page on there?
Maybe not.
Well, we'll see. We'll find out in just a minute. Because
usually they say something that it's on YouTube or
something of you.
Yeah. Because if you Googled my name, you would not be able to find me any place.
Because you're just
except for Facebook.
Yeah, you're
and now private. Twitter, but.
Yeah, by the way, you guys can look up the professor up on Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and pull his information up real quick. If you guys want to follow him.
Professor and Michael 120564.
Is that what it is?
I do believe so.
Just double check and make sure. You can actually follow us here on the show as well at DLG Radio Orlando. And then you can follow Kevin. He's all the way also up on Twitter as well.
Absolutely.
And he's at Tapee K.
He's at Tapee.
And Professor Michael, the Professor Benson, is at Michael120564. Dude, we gotta change that. It looked like a damn prisoner. What that fucking...
It's my birthday.
Let me watch my language. So, any Easter plans for you guys? Anything special coming up?
Besides going and buying a 10-pound ham tomorrow? No.
You buying a 10? You guys are doing ham? You guys are cooking up the ham?
Yeah, I'm going to buy the ham and do a spiral cut ham tomorrow for
I'm
Easter.
about to come over. Don't even play right now.
And,
just as long as you don't wear that freaking hat, I'm good, dude.
I'm thinking about getting them to hurry up.
You're gonna be Chef Boyardee. Hey.
I like that.
That's it.
Chef Boyardee. Hey.
No, ain't no Chef Boyardee. Hey, it's Chef Boyardee. Hey. Oh man, I think you guys should follow the professor on Twitter and just harass him.
That pink hat.
You know, before I was desensitized and I was not very sensitive towards people's feelings, I used to run around and chase people doing gay acts, like acting like a gay guy. And
well, when I did theater shows and stuff like that, I played a gay character before.
Oh, I did it.
It was hilarious. It was fun.
I did it at the store on the night shift. Believe me.
You did what on the night shift?
Chased other employees around acting like I was gay. Used to drive them nuts.
Show you did, girl.
Oh, show I did. It was fun.
You guys are stupid. All right, so with that being said, today's show is brought to you by our great friends at iHeartRadio. If you guys haven't downloaded the app yet, hey, there's many ways you can listen to us, and iHeartRadio is just one of those places you can tune in and.
That's where I go to listen to the rebroadcast of the show every week. I go listen to iHeartRadio, and I pull up the 102 DLG app at the top. Got it specific on my saved, and I can listen to the broadcast right there as I'm doing other things in the house.
Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you, you definitely can't beat it. I mean, I love iHeartRadio. We've been part of their family, 2 years already?
2 years since I started, yeah.
So 2 years, and actually, speaking of anniversary, we got our 5-year anniversary coming up in a couple of weeks, so we're looking forward to that. On May 3rd, we're going to be celebrating our 5 years, and listen, we've had a lot of great people come through our show. We had a lot of great guests. But listen, the most important thing...
Has it been 2 years since I've been on this show?
Because 2 years has flown already.
2 years because I came on the show and not...
Did you come on the show?
Not 30... Listen.
Not one of those shows tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Not 30 days later, you announced iHeart, radio was...
Yeah.
So
because I was working on the partnership with them for a while.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I have to give you guys another update. And I know I've been saying to you guys, I've been working out a deal with TuneIn for a while. When we had the Da.Latin.Groove.Radio.Show, we were on TuneIn. But when we changed the name, we kind of had to take away from being on TuneIn. But fortunately is what I meant to say, we are going to be rebroadcasting on TuneIn once again once I finish up the details, going over everything with them via email. So we should be airing with them within the next couple weeks.
Awesome.
So we are expanding greatly, and we want to just keep expanding as far as we can go. But the main goal is I want to go ahead and start... I would like to get picked up in other areas.
Picked up in other areas?
Yes.
Where have you been picked up at, son?
Okay, let me go ahead and rephrase that. I would like to get the show to get syndicated.
Thank you. So iTunes. How are we doing on iTunes?
We are still working on iTunes too. I am actually running a few tests with iTunes, and I should be done because I'm going to be off this coming weekend. So it'll actually give me some time to kind of work on some more stuff. But I think we should be ready to be up on iTunes in a little bit as well.
Okay, because I'm just trying to gauge our viewership and listenership.
You're trying to gauge what? I tell you, Kevin, I can't take him nowhere.
Your mind is in the gutter.
Look, dude, you're the one who walked into the freaking studio with a freaking pink ass gay hat.
Are you?
What? I'm straight.
No. People who retaliate like that have a self-esteem that is in the gutter. Is your self-esteem in the gutter?
Listen, I'm always in the gutter. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Do you have a low self-esteem?
Listen, don't you remember when the first time Kevin came on the show, we tried to corrupt him, and it almost worked. And then look, he came back. Now he's officially back. He's on the show permanently. Now he's officially corrupted.
Yeah, last week it was my week. Now it's your week.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin was on a roll last week, and Mike was sitting back like, "Oh man, what's going on?"
But I'm usually on a roll, and you know it. I have to pull myself back every now and then.
Listen, you guys are freaking awesome. That's all that matters. So I want to go ahead and thank you guys again. I want to go ahead and thank Kevin and the professor for being part of the family here on iHeartRadio, and being part of the 102 DLG Radio FM family. We've been doing a lot of talking, me and Professor. And we've also, we got some ideas that we want to start working on and start throwing around. And we're going to go ahead and, get in touch with Kevin on some of the stuff too. It's just running some ideas. And one of the ideas, the professor was like, oh, we need a new intro song because, the one that I got, it just has me and you. I know you love Jesse J, but we need a new intro. I said, dude, I just started using this intro in January. And freaking,
I know if Kevin has his choice, it's probably going to be a little, what's her name?
Taylor Swift, man.
See?
Come on.
Oh, I thought you
style, man.
I thought you liked that other chick. My lips are moving. My lips are moving.
She annoys me, but her songs get in my head, and I just can't help it. I got to sing with them. I don't know.
My thoughts and to the listeners, I'd like to hear our new theme song be Flow Rida GDFR.
GDFR.
You'll listen to it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Pull it up. Let everybody hear it. Let them decide.
How about some apple-bottom jeans, man?
That's not bad, but
we're gonna see Kevin up in some apple-bottom jeans. Apple-bottom jeans, boots with the furs. Looking at Kevin, looking at her. I'm talking about you.
And the professor in his pink hat.
He's looking at you. You and your little gay hat.
That's right.
I'm just
first time I heard that song, I was on a cruise ship, and I was sitting at dinner, and they dance around the dining room to songs and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And there was a waitress standing on a serving table right behind me, and her butt was about my forehead level, and she was doing that song, and that was it was interesting. Let's put it that way.
Did you plant your head up her ass?
Would have been nice. She was cute.
Apple bottom jeans. You could have been the apple.
I just want to take a quick moment and apologize to everybody. I don't want nobody to get offended. When I say gay, listen, we're just kidding around here in the studio. I don't want to offend anybody.
Has anybody taken offense yet?
No, I just want to make it clear, because if anybody listens to this show later as a podcast, I don't want to offend anybody.
I'm not anti-gay. I just, I'm secure wearing a pink hat.
Fucking hat. That's all I'm saying.
I'm secure with it, though. I mean, just because I wear a pink hat don't mean I'm gay. And if anybody knows me, knows I'm true heterosexual all the way. Not metrosexual, not homosexual, not whatever sexual. I'm heterosexual.
The views of the host do not necessarily represent the views of 102.DLG Radio.
Thank you, Kevin, for that. No, but seriously, though, we're just having fun here, guys. Yeah. And listen, I got gay friends, I got gay family members, so we're just kind of messing around here. So we're not here trying to offend
anybody. And I, too, and I do.
Yeah, Mike's gay. I mean, his sister's...
My sister, my uncle, yes.
Kevin's straight.
And, it's...
He just messed it up for everybody.
And I have gay friends, too.
He just messed it up. But anyways, no, seriously, though, we're just having a good time here, guys. So we're not trying to offend anybody. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the show. Speaking of which, you guys had a lot of things to send me over in the private message this week, and I was kind of looking over what you guys had to say. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to just let you guys know that, again, I've left it to the gentleman here in the studio. You got the professor and, of course, Kevin the Iceman Tapee. Got some stuff together for this week's show. They're big guys. They can take care of themselves, and I want to be able to give them a little bit of freedom so you guys can talk. Listen, you better stop rolling your head over there. Well. All right, so go ahead, guys. I'm gonna leave this up to you. Whoever wants to start, the floor is yours.
Well, I like the news stories. So there were a couple news stories this week that kind of stuck out at me that I thought, maybe we should kind of talk about. But the one I want to start with
stuck with you or stuck in you?
Well, either way, it was painful nonetheless. No, anyway.
Okay.
So the first one is, in case you don't know about this, there was an apartment explosion in New York City this weekend, and 2 people unfortunately died. So, my heart goes out to their families. But it wasn't the explosion that caused the issue. It was a group of young ladies who decided to pose and take a selfie with the exploded building in the background. Now, they've gotten quite a bit of flack for taking this selfie, and one of them now no longer works for the Democratic Party in Iowa. She was a spokesman. She was a spokesperson. Christina Freundlich was her name, from Iowa, and she's been called all kinds of things. The village idiot, a couple of different things. But it is there ever obviously a building exploding, you don't want to take a selfie with it, but what does that say about where we are as a society?
It's called social media. Everybody has a need to take a picture of themselves in compromising situations and post it. How stupid. Go ahead, Kevin.
I don't know. It's I noticed this on my recent trip, is this whole idea of the selfie stick, and I saw people taking selfies all the time, and
oh my God,
I don't get it. Okay, so I'll take a selfie every now and again, but it's mainly out of just being stupid. But
right.
I don't have to go somewhere and take a picture of myself. I'm not quite that vain that I want to see myself.
Listen, I think you just offended my girlfriend, because she has a selfie stick And she's been trying to get me to use that selfie stick for everything. I'm like, hell no. I'm good.
Use the selfie stick for everything?
I'd rather have a selfie stick than a Dixie stick.
Yeah.
No, but just to put this in kind of perspective, I don't know if you guys know the story or not, but there was a kid up here in Jacksonville that was killed at a gas station. His name was Jordan Davis. And the gas station he was killed at is one that I go to all the time because it was on my way home from work at the time. And the lady behind the counter would tell me that people would stop there just to take a picture at that gas station because that's where this crime took place. I mean, what do we think? We think that's a little sick or what?
In a degree, yeah.
That's all you have to say. Oh my goodness.
It is
all
sick.
Right.
Well, it is sick, Kevin. I mean, that's what I said, in a degree. You can't go any place or do anything anymore. It's...
I see it as, unfortunately, no matter what you do, and I've been seeing a lot of people, especially on Facebook, saying, I'm tired of seeing this and this on the news. So many incidents are taking place. When is this going to stop? The truth of the matter is, it's never going to stop.
No.
No matter where you go, there's going to be some type of incident. There's going to be some type of youth getting hurt. Whatever it is. It's never going to stop. And it's funny because I see this a lot on Facebook. And one of our friends, Tony, he's always posting stuff that's happening in Chicago. And it's like, he's just like, well, yet again, here's another situation that's happening with so-and-so. Oh my God, when is this going to stop? The truth of the matter is, like I said, it's never going to stop. You're always going to have some type of issue.
Well, to Tony's defense, Chicago is a very racist city. It's a very racial and ethnic city.
Not only Chicago, no matter where you go, they're racial.
I know, but I'm saying Chicago is a very ethnic and racially charged city. And it has very, very much like New York, it's boroughs, it's all your ethnic groups live within their community. It's more segregated per your race, and you know what I'm talking about, Lewis?
Yeah.
Connecticut's like that too, to a certain degree. Hartford is, but I don't know about where you're from.
Kevin, you're a retard.
You go ahead, Kevin.
Kevin's taking selfies of himself during the show.
I know, I see you.
If you guys want to tune into the show right now and want to watch us live on video, head on over to our official website, www.102DLGRadioOrlando.com. And you can watch us there, and it gives you all the links on how you can watch us via video and audio right now. This is going to be one of those shows, I tell you.
And you can see the pink hat.
And you can see the pink hat.
That's right.
Yeah. So the other story that kind of hit me was this German Wings aircraft that the co-pilot crashed in the French Alps. Now, if you want to kill yourself, that's your business, but don't take 100 plus people with you. I found that kind of disturbing, and of course the details that have come out are even more disturbing when you get
Live
the timeline of events.
Selfie time.
Oh, is he posting that too? Well, see, now I got to post mine. See,
you hear? See, this is what happened. You see,
but first, let me take a selfie. But first, let me take a selfie.
Hold on, everybody, stop for a second. Let's take a selfie all together. Ready?
Hold on, 1, 2, 3. Hold on, gotta get it.
We're all gonna take selfies right now. We're gonna stop the show for a freaking selfie.
1, 2, 3.
Here we go.
Click.
All right.
Woo! Selfie up.
Let's see whose selfie is better.
My selfie came out a little blurry because I was moving.
Oh, look, I think I got to choose B.
Your lips are moving.
Moving. Oh, here you go.
Here, let me do you the flavor. Oh, hold on. Oh, competition right now. All right, guys, who's got the better selfie? Here's mine.
Hold on.
I'm gonna go ahead and post. Oh, here's mine. That's my selfie right now.
All right, hold on. That's pretty good.
I think Mike's trying to take another one, try to take a better one. Don't cheat, Mike.
No, I'm gonna get.
You gotta angle your phone. Oh, there you go. Look at Kevin. Kevin's awesome. Listen, Mike. I think this. What are you doing with that tongue, dude?
Don't ask. That's the military thing, man. Don't ask, don't tell, man. Dude.
Did you just post that on Instagram?
Yep.
Oh my god. This show's going to hell.
Fast.
Look, I just got a text message saying that we guys are retarded. Oh my goodness.
And they're just now figuring this out? Congratulations! Welcome to the party, Captain Obvious.
That's for you.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and post this up on Facebook. Alright, so anyways, get back to the show, guys. Alright, so, yeah, so like I said, no matter where you go, there's always gonna be some type of issue.
Yeah.
Always issues. No matter where you go.
So what about this German plane? What do we think? I mean, man, that's crazy stuff that this guy would be depressed enough not just to kill himself, but take a whole plane load of people with him. That was crickets.
Hold on. Crickets. No, I think what it is we're all trying to post our pictures to Facebook right now.
Simultaneously here.
Oh yeah, hold on. Go ahead and just post it.
I'm trying to get mine, but I gotta get it going here. Hold on one second.
Taking selfies. Yeah. Selfie. I'm gonna be taking selfies. This is fucking nuts right now.
That song drives me nuts.
Taking selfies live.
She probably buys most of her followers.
They see a lot of people who have Twitter. They buy their followers.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm one of those weird people that tracks how many followers I have from day to day, and I get kind of stressed if I lose one. I don't know why.
Listen.
Why do you think that is?
Honestly, a lot of those people, and I understand Twitter or whatever is slowly weeding out the fake accounts.
What was that? What was that now? 102 DLG.
Dude, really? How long you been here? 2 years?
Exactly. Because I always get it wrong.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You don't even know the website.
Eat me.
Sorry, I don't do dudes.
You change it so frequently.
I change it frequently. What do you mean?
Well, it's 102.DLG Radio FM or Radio Orlando, because I mean I'm looking at this here and it says Radio FM.
What are you trying to do?
I'm gonna post for everybody to go to our website.
Oh my goodness, Mike, I'm gonna kill you. What an ass. Kevin, that's it. It's just gonna be you and I from now on. I can't.
The pink hat's out. See you later. All right, so what do you want to talk about, Lewis? Let me know.
He's got a couple of websites up here.
All right, so it's www.facebook.com/102 DLG Radio FM Network. There you go. That's our Facebook. You happy now? Look at his face. It's priceless. That's what you wanted, right? It was Facebook?
No, not Facebook.
Which one you wanted? The official website?
Our official website broadcast.
www.102 DLG Radio
102.DLG Radio Orlando. Or is it just 102 Orlando?
www.
Is that hat on too tight or something?
It is, man. So. I'm having a brain fart.
www.102DLGRadioOrlando.com.
Okay. You know, I've never seen a show that has 10 different web addresses.
Don't even play. We only have one.
Okay.
All right, Jem says, Brew Monkey says we are now being featured right now on JustCast. So again, thank you to JustCast. Let me not. Okay, let's go back to the show for real, because this show's going to hell.
It's easy getting
let's
off
go
track.
wherever we want now, man. Come on,
let's go
wherever we want.
He gets off track.
Listen, it's Professor. You guys started with the selfies. Actually, it was your fault, Kevin, because you started with the freaking selfie.
I did start with the selfies.
And now we just chain reaction.
Exactly. We had to take our own selfies and post our selfies and talk about our selfies and let's see who gets the most hits on their selfies.
Who gets the most hits?
Yeah.
DLGRadioOrlando.com. That's who gets the most hits.
Dude. Really? Oh my god. This show's going to hell already. My lord.
7:35. Welcome to hell.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
I appreciate that, Brew Monkey. I appreciate you coming by and featuring us tonight. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into the other topics, because I know All right, let's get back. Okay, so Kevin, what else do you have, buddy? I'm sorry.
Well,
no more sidetracking. No more freaking sidetracking.
I'm completely lost now. No, seriously. I was gonna. The next topic I was gonna bring up was that it looks like the U.S. government is gonna order not 1, not 2, but 3 new Air Force Ones. Do we think we need 3 planes?
So first of all, these airplanes cost billions. And why? If you already got 1 Air Force One, why the hell do you need 2 more?
Well, the current Air Force One came into service in 1991, so it's been around a while. It's a 747-200. It's only one of 2 left flying in the U.S., it and the other one. So, of course, it's probably about time to upgrade aircraft. But the reason we're doing it now is the government wants to get in before Boeing shuts down the 747 line.
So, but the thing is, why do we need 2 aircrafts? I mean, yes, I understand, after so many years you need to upgrade your plane and stuff, but why do you need 2? I mean, what are they going to do with the old one? Are they going to donate the other one to some type of cause or kind of give it to like a museum or something like that?
One of the 2 Air Force Ones will go to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where they have the U.S. Air Museum, the Air Force Museum. That's where they have all the former Air Force Ones there.
Okay.
Now, the reason you have to have 2 of them at a time is if one is not working, you still have to be able to fly the president in the other one. So it's kind of like, what do you call it, a backup system, I guess.
Okay.
But I don't know why they want 3 now.
So my question is this. With all the other BS nonsense that's going around in the world that we live in right now, that is the most important thing, is to focus on a freaking Air Force One?
I guess. I don't... This is coming from the U.S. Air Force. This isn't coming from the president, because this president will never get to fly in it. Let's put it that way. Not unless they put him in it when he's in a box and he goes back to Washington to lay in state. Because it's going to be forever before this thing gets out there. Probably another 3 or 4 years at least. So, but I guess, I don't know. They've decided they want to order not 1, but 2, but 3. So why do we need 3? And why do we have to have a 747? Why couldn't it be something else?
Yeah. Hey, Rhinestone Cowboy, we're here.
I know you're here. I'm listening. I was getting ready to make a comment before you slapped your hands.
Well, just want to make sure you're awake, buddy.
Oh, I'm awake. Yeah, Kevin, I think the reason they have 3, maybe for misdirection, send up the fake president in one, Hillary in the other, and the president in the other.
Well, they only have 2 right now, so they don't have a 3rd right now, but I see where they're going with that.
They will, exactly.
So, they got to put Hillary in the other one. So,
but no, Mr.
that's the one that's probably going to go down, right?
Well, you know how we have the president, and then we have the guy who looks like the president. So, there's a need for 2 right there. Look at Kevin's face. He's like, what the? God. What is he talking about?
Kevin, exactly. My same exact thought. Mike, what is wrong with you tonight, dude?
Well, you have Obama.
Where you?
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have Obama. You have Obama.
Snoop Dogg at the Beaver roast last night.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's like you got Obama and you got the other Obama. You never know which one you're getting, so one goes up in one plane, one goes up in the other.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Well, if you look at it this way, Obama was born where? Well, Hawaii. He says he was born here.
Well, supposedly Hawaii, yeah.
And he says he was born in Hawaii, right? But then he was also never was willing to or able to supply his true birth certificate and everything else. So, I mean, you have the Obama and the other Obama. So you send them, you send up 2 planes. I'm just on an Obama kick right now.
Listen,
no, hey,
are you talking about that? No. Hold on, are you saying there's a dub, like an alternate president lookalike? Or are you saying that Michelle Obama is going to go in the other plane? I I don't get it.
Well, she's the only one with any sense in that office, I think. No, I
think she's the only one in that office that has any rhythm.
There's two Obamas. There's the Obama, and then there's the dubbed Obama, as you stated. You know, you have his lookalike.
Oh, okay. So you're saying lookalike. I thought you were assuming at first that his wife.
No.
He just set his wife up to another plane.
I'm just kidding.
This track.
But I was serious about Hillary.
So, if you happened, and God forbid, if you were going to take a plane down, which plane would you take down?
Let's put it this way. I'm not going to say I would even want to take a plane down, okay?
Okay, you're a smart man. Okay, now we're talking. Okay, back to the ship.
I'm all here, buddy. I'm all here.
Well, so I worry about you today.
I know you do. That's okay.
Coming into this freaking studio with that damn hat.
Yeah.
I think the hat's throwing us all off tonight.
I think so.
Oh my God. You know, I think it's cutting off the circulation up there. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. All right, so let's get.
He's channeling his inner self.
Yeah.
He's like.
You guys are nuts. You're wackier than I am.
Dude, you started the crap.
Did you just fall off the fruit truck?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not going there either.
You want to play with my fruits?
Again, the views of the host don't necessarily represent the opinions of WDLG 102.DLG Radio. Thank you.
It's all Kevin's fault.
It is. I brought up the selfies and Mike's in the pink hat. I mean, my goodness. Should we like go back to 7 and reboot this one or what?
Yeah. We're only 42 minutes into, or 43 minutes into the show. There ain't no way we're going back.
Forge ahead. Up there's this picture. Oh, he's flipping us off in one of them. How nice.
So professional.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into some other stuff because I know, like I said, man, we don't need to go ahead and be spending this kind of money on any type of planes. I mean, it's
no, you know what? I think national security should be protected, and if it means having 3 planes, I mean, if you really want to think about it, when 911 took place, one of the aim targets would have been the president's plane.
That's true.
And the White House.
Precisely.
Yeah, in the White House.
Right, which is precisely why to keep the plane in the air. I think the reason the Air Force is looking at doing it now is that Boeing is going to wrap up production of the 747 probably in the next 5 years. And the Air Force wants to get in on the last sets of the 747s rolling through.
I was watching something, and I think it's sooner than that, Kevin.
It could very well be. Right now, they're converting a lot of their lines over to 787 production.
Exactly.
So,
but that's where my premise for the decoy comes in, because if you have one plane up, and you have another plane that goes up,
then they go up.
No, but I mean, if we're under attack, you have a lot of espionage factors that come into play, where misinformation can be sent.
I need a freaking zoom in button.
So they're going for the, Kevin, you know where I'm coming from on this.
I know where you're coming from, but I think the point. Truthfully, I think the president. You will know which plane the president is in, unless you can somehow switch it some way. Once they're airborne, if you could, switch transponders or something, have them fly close enough together, then you can do something like that. But somebody's going to see the guy take off. I see what's going on over there.
Hold on, Mike. Why are you looking like a you looking like a midget Mexican? Fix your chair, please. This guy.
That was funny.
I tell you. Oh my God!
You missed it, Kevin. I dropped my seat and went down like a midget in about a half a second, and he was just started rolling over there.
I guess he's just trying to give us what he's really like.
So you are Bruno Mars's father.
I was trying to be.
Oh my goodness!
But our producer and captain here didn't like it, so.
No, I wouldn't be able to go through the show. Oh my God, the hat's coming off.
It's just hot. I'll put it back on in a minute.
Oh no, please keep it off.
It is hot. Oh yeah, there's lots of us out there that think it's hot, I'm sure.
Yeah, now yeah, some of us are going through hot and cold flashes. That just doesn't work for you, man. Yeah, I say get rid of the hat
This is for everybody.
Jeez.
Especially these two clowns next to me here.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into another very interesting subject. If we can actually get serious for a moment.
What's serious?
Serious radio.
Serious radio. Oh, serious radio. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were serious.
Yeah, we
radio,
need to get on
but I
serious
can be
radio. That'd be
serious.
awesome. Yeah, but the rate we're going right now, that ain't gonna happen. All right, so let's go ahead and get into. I know you guys want to talk about self-esteem and self-image, and of course you guys posted the question on Facebook about having your own personal issues and stuff, just things that you guys find wrong with yourself that that bother you.
Oh yeah.
So since I don't know who came up with this idea, if it was you, Mike, or Kevin, but we can go ahead and whoever wants to get started.
That was me. Kevin, you can pipe in. Go ahead.
No, that was your question, Mike.
No, I mean, at any point, I'm saying you can come on into that chat because a lot of people have self-image and self-esteem issues.
Well, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about before with the selfie pictures too, because I mean, you look at a lot of the pictures that are posted online or the pictures that you see. I mean, I have two goddaughters that post pictures quite often online. And it's kind of a thing that if they don't get enough likes, then there must be something wrong with the picture. And if there's something wrong with the picture, then there's something wrong with them.
Exactly.
And that's kind of, that kind of troubles me a little bit because both of them are very pretty girls in their own right. And, as far as I can tell, I don't see anything wrong with them. But, it's not me that counts. It's what they see in the mirror and what they think of themselves that counts. And I think a lot of people this day and age who are so image conscious are looking and nitpicking themselves to the point where even the slightest little flaw is something that has to be fixed or has to be covered up. I mean, me, I don't care. I mean, I am who I am. You don't like it, that's tough nuts. I don't care, I mean, I realize that I'm bigger than everybody else. I don't care. It's my problem. I got to deal with it. I'm not going to go out and have surgery. I'm not going to go out and carve myself up or anything like that. I'm going to, do what I have to do to be happy with who I am.
Right.
But I don't think a lot of people do that anymore. I think a lot of people look at it and say, how can I fix this now? It's an issue that has to be fixed now because I only got 10 likes when I should have gotten 30.
Or 40 or 50 or 1,000. Right. Yeah.
Well, another thing too is people don't really, they don't understand this, but people get bullied for these type of things, for not being the prettiest or for being too skinny or too heavy or whatever it is whatever you want to say. Listen, I used to be the skinniest freaking kid in the world, and I remember when I was younger. Yeah, I got bullied really bad, and then one day I finally stood up for myself, and then I was kind of like left alone. But now I'm a little bit healthier, and it's funny because a lot of people that I grew up with in Connecticut, they look at me now. They look at my photos on Facebook. They're like, "Oh my God, you gained so much weight," and I'm just like, "Well, I was heavier."
Are you able to pull this picture up on from the link on that I put on there?
Yeah, let me go ahead.
See if it'll pull up off of that.
Let me see if I can try to get it. But go ahead, you can keep going.
I mean, there's women out there that there's terms that go around. There's the thigh gap. There's the bridge. I mean, there's all kinds of these different terms. I mean, the bridge is if you lay down flat on your towel, your bikini shouldn't touch your waist. Or there's the thigh gap where I should be able to see between your thighs. I mean, there's all these things that you have to worry about today. And now it's not just your peer group, your friends in school or your friends in your neighborhood. It's people you don't even know who have an opinion about you. Your audience is so much bigger now. You post that picture online, and we talked about it last week, that picture stays there forever. I mean, it doesn't go anywhere. You can delete it, but it's still out there somewhere, and there are still people passing judgment on it, and that's detrimental. I mean, I talk to kids all the time about self-image, and I'm like, you got to be happy in your own skin. If you're not, then we need to figure out what gets you there without being detrimental to yourself.
Okay.
So, a picture of a woman in a bikini on a beach, seemingly having a fantastic time. If you would have to Facebook in the last 24 hours,
is this the picture that came in the link?
Times. But what's the story behind this? So Travis is here to explain. When I looked at it, I thought, okay.
Hold on, I'm trying to get it up, but for some reason it's giving me a pain in the butt. Hold on one second. I'm going to go ahead and try to do it this way.
Okay. So, anyways, guys, what he's trying to pull up for me is there is a video. I mean, a picture that went viral on Facebook, and it was of a young lady, a mother of 2 or 3. I'm not totally sure if it was 2 or 3 children, and she has 3. Okay. She has stretch marks, and she has what you call a sagging belly button. And she got tired of people. I think she, for a while, just had issues with people staring at her stomach. But then she said, I'm proud. And my husband says, I should be proud that I have this. It shows what I've accomplished. Mm-hmm. She's had 3 kids. Come on, for any father out there knowing that his wife has carried 3 children for him,
yeah,
you have to realize that it's going to take a toll on the body. And what a lot of people don't realize, women have what they call elasticity, just like us men have what we call elasticity in the skin. Mm-hmm. Well, when you have a child, that elasticity allows that woman's stomach to stretch to carry that baby without ripping her stomach apart. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, some women have a better, a better elasticity in their body than others, and are able to combat that with exercise and certain diets and stuff. Yeah. Some women, no matter... Go ahead, Kevin.
A lot of it depends on what kind of shape you're in before you get pregnant. I mean, if you're in great shape before you get pregnant, then your chances of regaining that shape are better than if you're not. Exactly, because that elasticity is there. But some women are in perfect shape, Kev, and if they don't have the right elasticity content in their body, they're not gonna be able to get that shape or form back. They're gonna still have some skin sag, and I have to agree with this young lady, and that's what the pink hat was for tonight, guys. It was about self-esteem.
And what I want to do right now is I just want to let you guys know that this video footage you're about to see right now is coming to you live from Fox
TV, right?
Fox TV. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video for you guys, so you guys can actually see. Okay. Here it goes.
So, a picture of a woman in a bikini on a beach, seemingly having a fantastic time. If you would have looked at Facebook in the last 24 hours, you have seen it. I've seen it several times.
I hope this isn't the one where she's...
So Travis is here to explain.
Not the one with her butt up in the air.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Great
I hope
photo.
It's not that one, because there's a couple of them on there.
Oh, well, sir, hello.
She didn't have her butt up in the air. It's...
Oh, this one right here? The 60-minute? No, that's the brain cancer.
That's the brain cancer.
Well, that's the only
one.
Go to
that, and then when you go to that, try to...
No, that's the other one that I got.
So that's the only one you have?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the only one that I got. Mom in bikini.
Well, yeah, mom and
sharing it. Right. Then you got.
Let's see what it is. See if it's the same one.
This is the story.
This is it. This is it. That's the one.
There it is. Rachel Hall.
Yeah, that's it.
She's the founder of of a fashion blog. She cooks. She covers fashion. She covers events. She's written a book. And this is the photo she posted on Facebook a couple days ago. Herself in a bikini, and she basically said, "Look, I've had 3 kids, and they've been big kids, and I have stretch marks, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I want to wear a bikini, and so I'm gonna do it." And this photo has just blown up on Facebook in just a wild way. 50,000 shares in just a couple of days. Folks love this photo.
Yeah, and I saw this morning. I was kind of perusing some of the comments because my first thought was, what I noticed first was her big, beautiful smile.
Yeah, right?
Her smile. She's having such a great time. And then my second thought was...
not what I was going to say, but okay.
She does look fabulous.
Really good.
Her big, beautiful...
so many people are so concerned about their body and what
think everyone is looking at them.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so even if you do decide to rock a bikini or a Speedo or whatever, like you're feeling so uncomfortable as you're doing it that you're not having a good time. And clearly she is having a good time. And I think that's what's really resonating with folks. As you said, I looked through some of the comments and some of them are just awesome. Women being inspired. This is actually a guy who was inspired by this. He says that he was in combat. He has scars from landmines on his legs and he wears shorts and he does not care. I love this comment. You have no idea how empowering your words are to someone like myself. I gave birth to my last baby, 3rd son. I have stretch marks. You know, I just, this one's just super simple. Bless you. Let's make real women normal again.
I was going to say, I hope for a day when just a woman being normal, just her being herself, doing what she wants. I can't wait for that day when that is not a news story.
Yeah.
You know, when we can just go out and have a good time. And your kids want to see you at the beach. You know, you want to spend those amazing, make memories. It's not about how you look all the time.
She says the only man she cares about whose opinion matters is the husband who knows that she earned those stretch marks.
Exactly. Good for her. We were just saying this during the break. You got to be yourself.
That's right. I mean, this is cliche, but...
So, okay. I mean, as you can see, I mean, to me, she doesn't look bad at all.
Well, you know...
No.
We shouldn't even have to focus on does she have stretch marks or does she look good or does she look bad. Let's focus on the positive. She's at the beach having fun, regardless of what people think.
Exactly.
Now, what struck my accord with this article was my own personal self-esteem issues over my body since I was 16 years old. And for those of you who do know or do not know, 16 was a very, very difficult time for me. I found out I had cancer for the first time, and I was in the hospital close to a year that whole year, and I had massive surgery on my chest, and I had massive surgery. Basically, they did open heart, but not open heart, and then turned around a few weeks later and did total stomach surgery. Sliced me from where the scar left off on the chest all the way down to my groin. And so I've got a very, very long scar that goes down the middle of my chest all the way down to my stomach. And then in 2006, I had colon cancer for the third time I had cancer, and I had colon cancer. Mm-hmm. And when they did that, they had to pull my stomach together because the elasticity, my stomach, they had to pull it in, and they put rubber tubes through my muscles in the stomach so it could pull it in. So it looks like I got bullet holes going down each side of the scar down in my stomach now. Now, when I was younger and I would go to the beach, people would stare at me. I mean, people would physically stare at me. And I really had self-esteem issues because it really bothered me that they were staring at me over something I had no control over.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would wear a shirt a lot of times at the beach or at the lake or wherever I was because I really felt ashamed that I had, you know, people would stare at me like that. And, Here's the true crime. I would much rather be on the beach because people still stare at me today at the beach. Mm-hmm. I had a few head nods, look at my way and look at me, you know, like, oh. I would rather you walk up to me and say, hey, I noticed you had a scar. What happened? If you don't mind me asking. Well, you know, and you go into it. And, you know, maybe there's a common bond. Maybe they know somebody who is like that, you know?
Yeah.
That, you know... we're not perfect. I don't care how perfect the perfect body is. It's not perfect. They can have the greatest body in the world, but guess what? They only have 3 months to live. You know, you don't know.
Yeah. And you know what? And everybody, like you said, nobody's perfect. Everybody has their own self-esteem issues. And one of mine is, like I said, I used to be really, really skinny. And then all of a sudden, as I got older, you know, you gain weight. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have kids. Your body changes, and your body starts to just be different. And I found people used to just like mess with me because I was so skinny back in the day. And they were like, oh, well, you look like you're anorexic and you look like you don't eat your food or whatever. But as I got older, they started to pick on me on something else. And people don't realize this, but under the hat, I have this thing people call a nipple, a third nipple. Which is basically my birthmark on my forehead, right. And people used to mess with me about that a lot of times, and it used to really offend me.
You know, when I came out of the hospital, I went into the hospital weighing 145 pounds, and I was rock solid. I had very little body fat, all muscle. I played sports year round, every single sport you could imagine. I was active. Mm-hmm. I went to the hospital and came out of the hospital at 88 pounds. When I went to school my junior year, I was bullied a little bit. I was made fun of a little bit. And I was bald when bald wasn't fun. Mm-hmm. I met my friends when I first met the first few people when I moved to that town. I was out at the park and one of the guys pulled my hat off and my wig came off.
Oh, wow.
And I'm bald.
Yeah.
To see the shock on his face when he was holding my hat with a wig in his hand. Mm-hmm. I became very good friends with those guys. They accepted me. But a lot of people didn't accept bald people did. Because bald wasn't in the 80s. Yeah. Especially in the early 80s. So, I mean, there were self-esteem issues from all that. And then, you know, I wore the hat, the pink hat tonight for a reason. And the pink cowboy hat belongs to my wife for one of her events. But I said, you know what, I'm going to wear this tonight. I want to show people out there that I can go on the live radio, wear a pink cowboy hat, and it does not affect me. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Because I know who I am.
Very distracting.
Exactly. No, but I know who I am inside. I know what I'm about. And I want everybody to do that. To understand, you know who you are. You have nothing to prove. And if somebody feels like you have to be somebody you're not to hang around with them, you don't need it. Or to not stare at you, don't worry about it. You know what? Because they're the loser, not you.
So what about you, Kevin? I mean, what did you have to deal with growing up that really bothered you? And
you know, it didn't bother me as a kid. Being the big kid never really bothered me because it had its advantages. But when I got to be an adult,
if I saw you when I was younger, I wouldn't mess with you at all.
No, I didn't have very many people mess with me when I was younger because the being big had its advantages. It wasn't until I became an adult that, you know, and it wasn't other adults that would necessarily make you feel uncomfortable. It was usually kids, because kids have no filter.
Right.
You know, kids will say what comes to their mind, and you know, for a
them.
while I let it bother me, but then I realized that when I started teaching that, you know, kids can't help it. They say what pops into their head. You know, I mean, I had a little kid once tell me that his mom worked at night. She liked to dance. I mean, I knew what kind of job she had, but you know, but
I like to dance too.
Kids don't have a filter, so they would go, you know, you're fat. And I'm like, yeah, I do know that. You know, I had one kid one time tell me, how did you get to be fat? And I said, I eat kids. And he looked at me and said, what? I said, I eat children, and I'm really hungry right now. That kid was nice to me. Probably not the best thing to do, but you know, right now, I don't care. I mean, I go on vacation, I take my shirt off, I just don't care. I mean,
and that's the way you have to be. You just have to be able to enjoy life and just not care what anybody has to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I was sitting on this last vacation. I was sitting at a table and I was enjoying my book, and there were these two young guys sitting next to me at a table. And they were clearly on spring break. They're college-age kids. And, I mean, if I were a girl, I would have been, wow, they're hot, you know, because, I mean, they were good-looking guys, okay? And they're sitting there, and they're talking about this lady who walked by. She's probably, you know, early 30s, and she's not a small lady. And she's in a two-piece bikini, and she's, you know, maybe not the best choice for her body style, but you know what? She had the confidence to wear it.
Exactly.
And the two of them are talking about it, and I'm listening to them. And I looked over at him and I said, how would you like someone to judge you that way? I said, you're talking about her when she's got more balls than you do, because she's dressed like that and she's confident enough to be dressed like that. She doesn't care what you two little twerps think. She cares what she thinks. And to her, she looks good. And that's all that really matters, isn't it? And they were looking at me like, well, she should have thought about that before she dressed up. I said, she did, and that's why she wore it.
Yeah.
But you know what?
She feels good in it.
Some people could be such jerks sometimes, and sometimes, yeah, you know, it's like Kevin says, you know, they're really good-looking guys.
Yeah.
But some people let that shit get to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, you know, listen, I look so damn good. Oh my God, ha ha, hee hee, look at her. You know, she's falling out of her pants or whatever you want to say. That's some fucked up shit to kind of say, you know what I'm saying? And that will hurt somebody's feeling. You don't realize that you say something to the wrong person, and you know what's going to happen? What happens if that person goes home one night and they end up taking their life because of what
somebody said? Yeah,
right.
And you know, always realize you look great now, but Father Time has a way of getting even with you.
Oh yeah, it catches up to you.
You know, and it's a hard thing to deal with once that happens. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. You know, oh, this is going south and that's going north. What do? Go well. You know, they make a joke of it.
And I can tell you, Lewis, when you go on your vacation on ship, you're going to see people, and you're going to look at them, and they're going to be in stuff that you just wouldn't think people like that would wear. I mean, you know, I wouldn't wear a Speedo because I'm not confident enough to do that. I'll wear shorts. I'll take my shirt off and go in the pool because I honestly don't care because I'm never going to see any of these people again. And even if I do, we'll just laugh about it. But, it's like I told these two guys, I said, you don't know what she's been through. Exactly. You don't know. Maybe she just survived something and this is her release, or maybe she's lost weight and now she feels confident enough to wear that. You don't know. And I said, you looked good until you opened your eyes and we knew you were shallow.
Well, I would wear a Speedo, but what I don't like about Speedos or anything like that is it's restricting. So that's why you'll never see me in a Speedo, because I just feel like it's no room to move.
You can only hope to contain him.
That's right.
More balls than anything else.
That's it.
So I mean, and I think that we've just beaten social media up, but social media to a large part plays into our shaming of people.
That is very, very true.
I mean, even I read an article that even people who are too thin are victims of shaming. How can she be so thin? She must never eat. Maybe she does, but she works out a lot. Or how can he look like that? Maybe he's just decided to let himself go. Maybe he's sick.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. I have a friend who has a child who's 4 years old, who was the tiniest little thing you've ever seen, but now he has a disease and he's on steroids and he's bloated in size.
Bloated. Steroids mess with you
bad. Steroid thing. I mean, you just never know. And like Mike says, you never know when you're gonna, or Lewis said, you never know when you're gonna say something to somebody, and that's gonna be what sends them over the edge. Mm-hmm. And you don't know that. And it's real easy in Facebook or Twitter or anywhere else to sit behind your computer where no one can see you and type out hateful things about other people. And it's usually not that you're hateful toward them, it's you're hateful toward you. There's something about you don't like, so you have to make somebody else feel bad.
Exactly. I was going to say the exact
your low
same
self-esteem
thing.
is what it is. And that's what this whole topic was for tonight, was to get this out there that, nobody's perfect. If you have a low self-esteem, look at yourself in the mirror and realize what you do have, not what you don't have.
I'm going to tell you something. Until last year, I was very, very self-conscious of myself because, of course, I'm light-skinned, and I used to be very, very self-conscious of taking off my shirt. I wasn't a big guy. I was a little bit heavier. I've lost about 30 pounds. But I wasn't comfortable with myself taking off my shirt. And I used to always go in the water with the t-shirt on. Luckily for Shakira,
got you out
she
of it,
said, hey, babe, I still love you the way you are. Look, there's people out there who are much, happier with the way they are. And you shouldn't have to worry about it. So, and then I took off my shirt and look, I just became a little bit more comfortable with myself, and I don't care what nobody has to say.
That's the bottom line. I still have, my self-esteem is good now, but
yeah, we see.
But what I'm saying, I still have issues. I have that.
Yeah, the scar.
The scar in my stomach, where that scar is. Mm-hmm. No matter what exercises I do, I can't get the stomach to tighten up. So I got that little flab around that area, which is called your love handles. But for me, it's because I have no stomach muscle control left.
Yeah.
And when I wear certain clothes, it really looks like I'm, flabby right there. And that is about that drives me nuts. And my wife looks at me and she says, honey, I mean, really?
Just let it
You're
go.
alive and
Yep.
you're complaining about that,
That's the best thing to do.
There's nothing.
That's the best thing to be living for, is being alive.
And she
enjoying.
goes, with what you've been through, that's the least you need to be worried about. And you know what? She's right. And I try not to let it bother me anymore. But I mean, I'm still a little sensitive about it. But my self-esteem overall is not affected.
So let me
by
ask
it
you
anymore.
both of you guys. When people made fun of you, or when people said certain comments, did it bother you? Like, did it offend you in any way?
Oh yeah, man. I've had people offend me, and I just looked at them, and a few times in the bar I just about decked them, but besides that, I got over it.
Yeah, I used to definitely let it get to me, and I remember a lot of times when I was a kid, I used to run away and just cry.
Well, when I was in New Orleans, I was probably walking around at about 2:30.
Yeah.
Me at 2:30. I was big, but I think I got big because I used to drink like a fish. I mean, I was in the bars all night long, and I really didn't care about my weight. I was comfortable with who I was, but I think it was a compensation factor after being young in high school and everything, and being so skinny after coming out of the hospital that for years I couldn't gain weight, and when I did gain weight, I was glad to be bigger, you know, and I dealt with it, you know.
I never really internalized it. I just, sometimes, I used to think of all the funny things that I could say to reply to somebody. I may be fat, but I can always lose weight. Or, is that your face, or did your neck throw up? I mean, things like that I could, I always thought of the witty comments, but it never got me to a point where I wanted to hit anybody. More than anything, I felt sorry for them, because I knew there was something about them they didn't like. So
and I know a lot of people, from time to time also, they would get offended by it, but then they would try to kind of joke on themselves too, to kind of just let it go, to kind of feel a part of the crowd. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that happen quite a lot.
Well, when for me the light bulb went off, for my self-esteem and who I was and what it was all about, the light bulb went off. And when that light bulb went off, I've been good since then. And Kevin, since you've known, when you first met me, I had no issues with self-esteem. I mean, I was pretty secure at that point in my life. So. Yeah,
definitely. Well, and the other thing to consider now is that with all of our veterans coming back from combat who have horrific injuries, I mean, one of the best things I saw was, I don't know if you know who he is or not, but J.R. Martinez was on Dancing with the Stars last year or the year before.
Year before, I
think. And that guy's got such an incredible attitude toward life, and he goes out and talks about, hey, this is who we are, this is what happened, and this is, we're changed, but we're still the same person deep down inside. And, it really bothers me more than someone else making fun of me, is when someone makes fun of somebody else. Particularly somebody like that.
Oh, yeah.
I met a guy who had lost an arm in Iraq, and he talked about getting stared at all the time, and he's come up with a way to joke about it, but I know it bothers him. He jokes about it and says, "Well, I had a buddy that needed a hand, so I literally gave him one."
And let me let the listeners know, there is a difference between staring at somebody and glancing at somebody.
Right.
I mean, you can't avoid looking at the person, but to stare at the arm, stare at the leg, noticeably you're not seeing anything but what you're looking at is staring. Right. And that's what you need to get over. I mean, if you see it, hey, great, you know what? They know they don't have an arm, or they have a scar. Mm-hmm. They don't have the problem with you, oh, how you doing? But, frickin' acknowledge me. Hey, how you doing?
You know what I get a lot too? Because being the business that I am, in retail and stuff like that, I'll get customers coming in, and then they'll be in a wheelchair, and then I'll have and even an employee look at a customer a certain way, and they'll kind of give you this kind of look where they kind of look, and they're just
look away, look away, they don't know how to handle it.
Exactly. Yeah. And they don't understand that really hurts somebody's feelings if they see that.
Yeah, and so walking up and saying, "Hi, how you doing today?" Break the ice. Say, "So what brings you in your wheelchair here today?" I mean, you can crack a joke and they'll actually laugh. I mean, you got to be careful who you're talking to, but you know what I'm saying?
Some people get really
some people, but I mean, if you've talked to them for a minute, and you kind of know where they're at, or humor, because I've said that before to somebody in a wheelchair, "Hey, how you in your wheelchair doing today?" But I knew the person.
I would have been waiting in that parking lot to run your ass over too.
Exactly, but I knew the person.
Motorized scooter,
right? But I knew the person, so I could get away with that.
What you say about
that was my way of adding a little humor to and they knew what I was saying, But I'm not telling anybody to go out there and do it, but it's called breaking the ice, and that's what I'm saying. You know what? If you're gonna stare at me, at least kiss me. You can stare at me all day long, but make me feel good about it.
Speaking of self-esteem, my photo has 10 likes, 1 comment, including your wife liked my photo, Mike.
All right.
Wow. Hold on a second. I need to wait. Where? What's up with my?
I wonder if Denise is listening to the show tonight.
She probably is. I would not be surprised. Hello, Denise. If you're listening to the show, appreciate you coming by.
Your husband's nuts.
Yeah.
She already knows that. She already knows that.
I'm so sorry that you had to deal with Mike for 22 years. Well, obviously, how many likes I got on my photo?
I got none.
He's got none. I think I got
one, 'cause I liked it.
I think I got 3.
I posted twice, so
I got 4. I got 4 likes. And that's why we like to have fun here on the show, guys. I mean,
I've got 4 likes.
Sometimes we like to goof around and be idiots, and we'll go ahead and we'll take photos of ourselves, and it's just all in good fun. Sometimes we're gonna have those bad days, and we're just gonna be able to just kind of just say, you know what, screw it all, and just love ourselves for who we are, no matter what we look like. And I always say, listen, I've dated people where they may not have been the prettiest person in the world, but beauty comes inside and out. You just gotta be able to accept that.
My future sister-in-law liked mine, and guess who? You know who liked mine, right?
Shakira.
No, you really want to know who liked mine?
Who?
I liked it.
Gary.
He liked mine too.
Yeah. Jessica, our friend, my friend, your friend, my student Jessica.
Barrio, whatever her name is.
Barrios.
Barros.
It's Jessica Lang. It's Barrios Lang. Yeah. And my sister-in-law. So that's all right.
And that's why, if you guys listen to the show, you know what, you're having a shitty day, you want to come have fun with us, man, go throw your selfies up on our pages too. Shit, why not? We'll all like to have a good time.
I bet I would have got more looks if
you know what I'm gonna do? I need to go ahead and put our selfies up and have people vote on our pictures.
Yeah, that's fine. You know what I'm thinking about?
Who's got the craziest selfies?
I'm thinking about doing the pink cat with the boxers on, seeing if I do get any likes on there.
Oh my! Kevin's like, no, not the vision.
Just to see what social media will do.
So you see what you started now, Mike. I'm going to tell you this right now. You started a trend here on the show, which
next
means
week I'll be here with my
week,
pink cat and pink boxes.
Next week you gotta have something. Every single week we're gonna be expecting something from you.
I knew that was coming. That's
it. And Kevin, he's gonna be the next one in line. No, you know what? I think we'll just let. I think.
But I made the show interesting with that pink cat.
What's that?
I made the show interesting with that pink cat.
We certainly have talked about it.
Because nobody in their right mind would have thought I would
show went to hell. So yeah,
nobody was expecting it, and wow, look what happened, right?
Yeah, I tell you, we lost track for 45 minutes of this program.
That's right. That's right.
It was a good prop.
Exactly.
So next week we want to be able to see you take it to the next
Don Armis ain't got crap on me, baby.
Oh man, good times. All right, so like I said, guys, for any of you guys right now who are having any type of trouble right now with self-esteem, if you guys are dealing with any type of bullying, any of that stuff right now, please take the time. Please, there's no need for you to think about hurting yourself or hurting other people. Go talk to somebody.
You know what?
There's always somebody out there.
Dial 407-353-2963. That's my number. I'll be glad to direct you to the nearest gun store, and I'll get you taken care of, and you won't have an issue with self-esteem anymore.
I'm talking about seeing these young teens out there. You're going to tell a teen to go get a freaking gun?
Oh, teens. I didn't know teens were listening.
Oh, my God. Shoot.
Okay. Nah,
Kevin,
if you're under 21, we can't take care of that for you, but...
I'm just saying, like, anybody out there...
I am
like,
just kidding.
No, youth
My God.
or teen or anything like that, go tell a teen go get a gun. My God.
My goodness.
Kevin's about to throw darts at you,
I
Mike.
see him. I see the look on his face.
He's about to throw darts at you. Yeah, we get all different ages listening to our program.
Woo!
I tell you.
Do my Ric Flair. Woo!
My Lord.
Now I gotta do my little...
All right, so we'll go ahead and say that. Go ahead and tell you a little bit about our sponsor for tonight's program. I want to go ahead and show some love to our great friends at Nextcast. If you guys want to get into some automation software for your radio program or podcast, head on over to our official website, www.102dlgradioorlando.com, and click on the Nextcast banner. What's going to happen is Nextcast is going to give you the program to try out for 2 free weeks. And if you guys like it, enjoy what you do, if you guys want to broadcast for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can be at work doing whatever you got to do. Let the show run. And hey, listen, if you guys enjoy it, they're going to hook you up today for $150.
Wow. You know, Amazon.com.
Amazon.
Run on over to Amazon.com in the future. You know, you can probably, in the near future, find a CD or a DVD of the weekly rundown with all our broadcasts on a DVD. You could probably pick it up at Amazon once we get it out there. What do you think? Only at Amazon will this be...
Hold on a second. Mike, you trying to put
what
me in
is
debt?
he talking about?
Dude, Talking about, we're going to put a CD out. You're going to put me in debt is what you're trying to do.
No, I have an idea of doing a DVD of all our broadcasts for the past year.
Our greatest hits.
On our greatest hits on one DVD.
I'm going to give you a greatest hit. That's going to be a right fist.
And we can make the DVDs, or have somebody make all the DVDs, and we can sell them on Amazon.
Ah, that's cold.
Kevin.
That would be a good one. Yes.
Speaking of which, we can probably charge per episode on iTunes too.
Yeah.
99 cents an episode?
Yeah, and it goes right to me. Thank you very much for my ideas. My marketing genius.
Listen.
You're welcome. You're so very welcome.
Kevin, you're hired. Mike, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of my studio!
I'm full of it tonight. Yes, I am. You had yours last week, Kevin. It was mine this week.
Oh, yeah. Lord. All right, so what else we got on the agenda for this evening, guys?
We did self-image. Kevin, did you go through all your subjects that you had for tonight?
I did. I can save the question of the week that I submitted for next week, I suppose.
No, do it. Do your question of the week.
Oh, all right. The question of the week that I submitted was I don't even know how I found this site, but I was out on the internet just looking around, and I came across a link to a story about a woman who felt violated because her boyfriend's ex had outed her on a website. And I'm not talking like she's gay and they outed her that way. It was that she had, at the time she met this guy, he was still dating this other lady. Mm-hmm. So she posted, the ex-girlfriend posted a picture of the new girlfriend and her ex-boyfriend on a site called she'sahomewrecker.com.
Oh, man.
Oh,
so
I've heard of stories like this before.
My question is, would you or would anybody listening do that? Would you go out to a website, post your story and a picture of your ex or soon-to-be ex and the person they left you for? Would you do that?
Listen, first of all, that seems like something that's like me being in a relationship with my ex, then coming on the radio, trashing the crap out of her, and then putting it out there for everyone to hear.
Well, here's the deal. Had Facebook been around when I was married to my first wife and she did that to me, she probably would have been on Facebook. I've learned a lot since then. I'm a totally different person since then. I wouldn't do it today, but it may have happened then.
Well,
honestly,
would I go to a website and put my girl on blast, or my ex-girlfriend on blast? No,
and I wouldn't do it today. I would just let it be. But I would have done that to my ex.
Now, Kevin, on the other hand, he looked like he would be up to some evil, sneaky stuff.
I don't know, but no, I thought about it.
I know you did. I won't say her name. I almost said her name.
Okay, so
no, but. I'm looking at the website right now, and it's not just your name and picture; it's your full name and picture. Exactly. I'm not going to say the girl's name, but there's a picture of her, and she's from Jacksonville, Florida. And this lady goes into a 3-paragraph story about her husband leaving her for this girl, and ultimately she says yes, she blames him, but the fact that she could care less about what she's doing to my family, which is why I'm putting her here. Do you think this solves anything? Do you think it makes the woman feel any better? Does she feel less wronged now?
Do I think it does? Is that a question to me?
Yeah, do you think this ultimately? What would you think a person would get out of doing that?
Revenge, but revenge has repercussions, both personally and to the other person. So, like years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I probably would have done it if there was social media with my ex-wife. But today, if it was someone, I was trying to get even with somebody, no, I'm past that.
Here's a website that Kevin's talking about right now. And these are just...
Of course you bring up Phuket, Thailand. Nice one.
God, man. He like them Thai women.
I'm just bringing it up. Look, it's come up on the main page.
But see, it has her full name. It has her full name. It has copies of the text. It has pictures. And think about what these people had to go to. The person who is wronged in this case cyber stalks the person that their ex cheated with, copies pictures from their Facebook page, and then puts it on this page. Now, Mike, you're more of a legal kind of person than I am. Do you think there's any repercussions for this? Do you think there's possible slander? Or is there liable for doing this? What do you think?
I want to go ahead and read this real quick. Hold
on. I'll answer this question and go into slander, hard to prove, liable, good possibility, especially if it causes harm to that person. If it costs them their job, if something takes place because of what they did, there could be repercussion. Because they use their personal pictures and images from their page.
Yeah, and
that page is an extension of them and their personal belongings. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they could actually be sued for libel on that, I believe.
So here's just one of the freaking stories. I guess the girl's name is Jen from Colorado, and it gives her information. So please don't call nobody, guys. Please.
It gives her phone number too.
You want me to read it for you? Is this it?
Go ahead.
In blue or at the top? We are just friends. That was
You do the blue, I'll do the gray.
Huh?
You go ahead. You do the blue, I'll do the gray.
Okay, go ahead. Why are you calling and texting my husband?
We are just friends. That was it.
Would your husband buy that story? A few texts a day I get. I was fine when they're all it's all blurry over here.
Yeah.
I gotta get close. It's all blurry. Okay. A few texts a day I get. I was fine when that's all I thought it was, but over $3,000 a month and house on the phone? I don't believe it.
And hours on the
phone.
I
just saw that.
There was nothing, just bullshitting. However, I see you're upset, and I swear on my kid's life that there's nothing going on. I'm happily married, and there is no more involvement. There was nothing between your husband and I. There will never be anything, and I'm not a home wrecker, nor am I willing to wreck my own home.
Is there any more?
No, that's it.
I was going to say, then why are you talking to my husband?
So this just shows you what Kevin's talking about. There are these crazy sites out there that they're putting people on freaking blast.
Yeah, it's I think it's pretty much out of control anymore when you're talking about that too. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Oh my god.
I mean, really think about it. If
I'm gonna have to look at the site later.
You shouldn't be on that site.
It's gotta be curious.
When you can search by state. I mean, like I said, I ran across it by an article I read where this lady was talking about her life being ruined because she wasn't the one that had cheated with him. She just had the same name.
Right.
So this woman had gone out and found a Facebook page of her and had posted her pictures online, and somehow or another a friend of hers had seen it and, was really, how could you do this? And, it ended up causing tension in her marriage. It ended up causing problems at work. And this woman had nothing to do with it because this woman had gone out and trolled her Facebook page and had gotten the wrong person. So, and then I started looking at it and I thought, wow, these people are nuts.
Now, wouldn't that suck if, for some reason, somebody just hated you and you were like never in a relationship with them, and they just because they didn't like you, they just go up there and they just post stuff about you and just make stuff up?
Yeah, I would hate it. It would piss me off. And you know what? That's why I said I wouldn't do it this at this time of my life. I mean, like I said, I was as a younger person who is irrational and who is probably still screwed up a little bit. I probably would have a Facebook and been out at that time. But our younger generation needs to realize, and I think a lot of this is no longer just the younger generation. I think it's all ages are now who are on social media are taking liberties that they should be cautious of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That they're taking things a little bit too far to get just basically swingbacks at people, and mentioning names and faces. I have to have respect for those people who might post what they feel or what they think, but not mention the person. That's a little smarter. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, the last thing you want to do is mention the person and out the person on Facebook.
So let me ask you, both of you guys, what would you guys do if somebody did that to you? You guys were in a relationship with somebody, all of a sudden, just went out, said, you know what, screw this guy. He was they claimed that you were a jerk to them, but you really weren't. And then all of a sudden, you go to this website, somebody comes across it and says, hey, Kevin, dude, you need to check this out. You're up there. You need to check this out, dude. They're bashing you. How do you react to this?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to do whatever I had to try and clear my name, I guess. Because,
I would go make a very diplomatic post of my own and be very diplomatic and take the higher road and let everybody know that, I'm not going to revert to the inadequacy that was used against myself as far as the truth goes. And I think people would respect that more than the bashing that they read the first time from someone else. You know what I'm saying? And I just let them know this could be you. So think before you react or comment on something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Kevin?
I mean, because once you post it, like we said before, it's out there. It's on.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a couple of weeks ago, you know how we talked about how things like this, if somebody searches your name and this comes up, this can even ruin your damn career.
It could, yeah.
You could ruin your marriage, your career. It could alienate your friends and other family members, your kids. I mean, a lot of repercussion. Somebody could feel a lot of wrath from something like that. So that could be pretty bad.
Yeah. Kevin?
Yeah, 'cause I'm looking up the girl I saw, and unfortunately, it doesn't show up on just a general search. It doesn't show up for her, but
you have to become a member.
No, I mean, I found a girl that's in Jacksonville on the site, so I searched her on Facebook, and I found her on Facebook, but then I went to search her on the internet, and I don't pull her up as far as that site linking her in somehow. So
gotcha.
She might have gotten off, but still, it's the whole idea that if you, the repercussions are quite simple, really. If you piss the wrong person off,
exactly,
they can do what they want to mess with you. And I mean, shoot, Mike knows I would have done it in a heartbeat to the first person I married. I would have done it to a heartbeat,
Yeah.
And the sad thing is I still know a lot about her because I still have some people I talk to from that former life. So
yeah, and it's a good thing I don't. It's a good thing I don't, because it would take every ounce of what I have inside me to hold back from saying something to that person. But I wouldn't do it on Facebook. No, I wouldn't do it on Facebook. It would be face to face.
We got a message that came on JustCast right now.
Okay.
One PC Doc says, I want to come in and tell you thank you for trying to find me a girlfriend. I truly appreciate you guys.
Are we talking about Wendy? Whitney? No, Whitney?
No, I think he's talking about the lovely website we were just going to. I think he just wants to go find him a chick.
Oh. Tell him to go, hey.
Go sign up. It's free, I guess.
Doc, go see Whitney.
Webcam Whitney.
Webcam Whitney, Doc.
Oh, my God.
Okay, moving on, guys, to the next topic. I'd like to talk about just a little, something feel good here. And that's for a blastoma, brain cancer. I can't pronounce. I don't have it written down. It's a form of blastoma, and it's a brain cancer. And 60 Minutes did a segment on curing the form of brain cancer with the polio vaccine. 60 Minute segment. Let me see here. Got it. Okay. It's in. I believe it takes place in North Carolina, and they were doing trials.
It's a Duke Medical Center.
Duke, yeah. And they were doing trials on the polio vaccine, basically injecting the brain cancer recipients with the polio vaccine. Now, unfortunately, during the first early stages of the trials, they did over vaccinate as far as the polio vaccine went, over drug a certain number of the patients who didn't make it. But what they did was they cut it down from 100% to 15%, because they were basically experimenting with the amount of dosage that would work, or at least give them some results. Well, they dropped it down to 15% finally, and at 15%, two of the patients that they have trials on showed a significant shrinkage of the tumors in these people. And here's the clip coming up in a second from 60 Minutes.
Yeah, one of the girls was fairly young.
Yes, very young.
Stephanie, I think her name was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually the re-engineered polio virus is what it is. So it's like they're giving the patient the polio virus.
Exactly.
Because the polio virus attacks the glioblastoma is what it's called.
The glioblastoma, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like one bad thing attacks the other.
And I asked Denise, actually we know someone, a good friend of her mother, good friend of hers, mother had the glioblastoma and died from it last year. So
yeah.
This is
I've known two people who've had brain cancer, and both of them have had very radical chemotherapy, radiation treatments, and stem cell transplants, and it took them well over a year to recover from it, whereas this appears to be not quite as invasive, and it seems to be much less of an intrusive type thing for the person who's getting the treatment.
Kevin, do you remember Dree, Denise's very good friend, who was her maid of honor at our wedding?
Vaguely, yes.
Big girl, Drew Uzina. She died of brain cancer she
did
died
she
of leukemia.
Really?
She died of leukemia this year. It went to the brain, and she died.
I did not know that.
She had about a 4 or 5 year bout that she fought it off, and it finally overcame her. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Her sister had died of. We were at her sister's funeral. Denise was working during that funeral and couldn't go, but her sister died of a colon cancer. And then Dree came down with that. Yeah, I was sorry to see that. I told her if she needed anything during her period, to call me, treatment and stuff. But don't even go there, sir. But she was a fighter. She was a fighter, and I'm glad to see that they've come out with using the polio virus to treat something. It actually turns something bad good,
Yeah, well, it's you got to think who thought of this, who had the idea that this might work. That's where I really worry about subsidized healthcare. Is are we going to have these kind of medical breakthroughs with socialized medicine, because the money for R&D isn't there, because the what hospitals can make for R&D is so small now. But you have to wonder who thought of this, and that's just brilliant that somebody would have just the idea. To wake up one morning and go, gee, I wonder if the polio virus will work on brain cancer.
Well, there had been research for years with the polio virus, how it would interact with other areas based on what they were seeing from the polio survivors, I believe. People who had survived polio, what it did to their body and how things, were affected. So the person who did this, I'm sure, had used a lot of those findings when he maybe came across that with the polio virus and even some of the vaccines that we take today. The polio shots. A lot of people don't take them anymore, but I remember getting mine as a child.
And Duke Medical Center is really on the cutting edge of a lot of this stuff. The little guy that I mentioned before, who's 4, has something called Evans syndrome, and it's kind of like bubble boy syndrome, where you can, if there's a virus in the air or some sort of bacteria, he's more likely to get it and become infected and has issues with it. So he's had to be pretty much in a sterile environment for the last 6.5 months. And Duke is looking at doing a stem cell transplant for him as well. So, I mean, there's quite a bit of stuff going on at Duke. That whole area in North Carolina is, though, the research triangle.
Well, honestly, I wish they would come out with something. I wish somebody would invent or find something for chemo brain. And I don't know if anybody really realizes what chemo brain is, but chemo brain is it's a side effect we get, cancer patients get, that sometimes never really goes away, and it's your brain is almost in a fog sometimes. I to this day still zone out for periods. I mean, I'm just zone out.
Yeah.
And it's chemo brain effects because I've had it since the last bout of chemo, and I went through some very, very strong drugs for the cancer, and I'm still, I can't think of words. It's amazing. I wanna say a word that I know, but I can't.
You have that
it
brain
does
fog.
not. The recall does not come to my brain.
In a sense, what you've gone through is not unlike someone who has a traumatic brain injury.
Kevin,
in a lot of ways, what you've gone through is similar.
Well, you remember when I had the stroke, Kevin?
Yes.
Okay. I have short-term memory loss. And I've had to retrain myself to do a lot of things differently. But compound that with the chemo brain, it's really been tough remembering and saying and doing certain things at times. Like, we could be doing this show and I want to say something, but I can't get it out. The words...
You get so mad at yourself because
yeah, I know, and it pisses me off because the words don't come back to me like I want them to. So I have to think about it, and then it comes to me. I let it go and relax, and a few minutes down the road, it may or may not come back to me. So that's kind of what chemo brain is, and it's very frustrating. And I wish they would find something that would ease that. But I take gabapentin for the neuropathy, and it helps with other things, and I take other medications and everything. But nothing compared to what this fog is, and it's never. I doubt it's ever going to go away. And I have to read books 3 times to retain what I read. The third time, because it's called repetition. The more repetition I am with certain things.
Oh yeah, a lot of times I try to read stuff too. I can't remember, like, I have to read things a couple of times.
It's right. Well, it's cognitive, and what happens is, you have recall. The brain works in a funny way. The brain has recall, and it recalls everything that's at the front of the last thing you did. Well, with short-term memory loss, if I'm doing something right now, or I read something, or I see something on Facebook, I may not remember the person's name or exactly what was said. I remember some of it, but I have to go back and I have to read it. Then I have to go back again and read it. And once I go back 2 or 3 times and do something, then it starts coming into the recall frame. And when I need to recall it, I can recall it. And that's part of how the brain functions. It's a recall. You have short term, and then you have the long term, and then you have the recall. And if you don't use something in your brain, the way your brain set goes, you say you learn something, but you don't use it for a long time. It goes all the way to the back. And then when you need to recall it, you recall it and it's at the front. Well, with short-term memory loss, you don't quite have that. So you have to really revisit things quite frequently to get them down. And I've got a master's degree, and I'm going to tell you, it wasn't easy going through all 3 of my degrees trying to remember what I learned in high school, remember what I learned in that class, remember what I learned or read or everything, especially when you're doing research. It's a really struggling thing that people deal with. So I'm hoping something like this polio virus that they found that cures brain cancer, maybe they can find something that will cure chemotherapy brain fog.
Let's go ahead and take a look at this video real quick, so everybody can actually take a look at it.
Oh, it's getting late, yeah.
Yeah, this video is coming to you actually by ABC 60 Minutes. So go ahead and check this out, y'all. We'll be right back.
CBS 60 Minutes.
Yeah, CBS, sorry. CBS 60 Minutes.
It appears the polio virus starts the killing, but it's the immune system that does most of the damage. Her tumor shrank for 21 months until it was gone. This is an MRI from this past August. 3 years after the infusion, something unimaginable has happened for a patient with recurrent glioblastoma.
And there's no cancer in this picture
and we
at
don't,
all.
We don't see any cancer, active cancer cells in the tumor at all.
She is cancer-free. The only thing that remains is this hole, which is an artifact of an early surgery.
Under traditional standard of care treatment, Stephanie should not be standing here next to us today.
Absolutely not.
Stephanie, when they showed this to you, what did you think?
I wanted to cry with excitement this time.
How surprised are you by that?
I'm surprised because you never expect on a phase 1 study in particular, which is what she is on, to have these kind of results.
So as you guys can see, I mean, there are testing things out.
Oh, yeah.
But the question is, what's, is it going to actually help? A lot of people are going to say, they're going to be very skeptical, like, oh, well, she got lucky, or,
Well, you have to understand research and skepticism when it comes to trials and studies, that everybody's body isn't the same, and the body doesn't react to certain drugs the same. What saves my life may not save another person's life.
Exactly.
And what might give me cancer may not give someone else cancer. Being subjected to chemicals, or subjected to antibodies, or subjected to vaccinations, all those different things will give you cancer, but won't give everybody cancer.
Right.
And the cancer gene is basically a splitting of the gene is what creates it to become a cancer. It's almost like it's a morph. That gene will morph itself.
Yeah.
And when that gene morphs, it becomes a growing cell. And when that growing cell starts slicing and splitting and everything else, then it becomes cancerous. And that's what those chemicals may cause to happen, but it might not do it in everybody. And then, Kevin, I know you got something to say, but I'm going to also go into. He made a very good comment there about the immune system. Not everybody's immune systems are as strong as the other person. And your immune system has a lot to do with your ability to overcome certain things. Or to be, basically, have less ability to overcome things. Or to get the cancer. Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, I want to go back to what you were talking about, short-term memory and long-term memory, and the difference.
Go ahead.
For 9 years I taught special education kids, and you may think, okay, how does that tie into this? But
it does.
When you have, I had students that would have short-term memory issues and long-term memory issues different times, but the average neurotypical brain, okay, the average person who has no mental conditions or has not gone through any traumatic event, it will take 21 repetitions of an item for you to own it.
Exactly.
Once you've had it repeated 21 times, you own that piece of information, and you will more than likely never forget it. However, with short-term and long-term, that number jumps from 21 to on average 1,400 repetitions. So when you're talking about, okay, after I hear 2 + 2, 2 + 2 + 2 = 4, for 21 times, I own it. Whereas that person with short-term or long-term, it may take them hearing it 1,400 times to remember that fact and to own that fact. So when you have someone that has a traumatic brain injury, goes through brain cancer of any kind, or they're subjected to radiation and chemotherapy, or they have a mental deficiency, doesn't sound right, but a learning disability, that's better. That repetition jumps way off the page. And that's what's so hard for people to understand. And Mike, you've probably seen it too, where people will tell you, damn it, Mike, I just told you that last week. Why don't you remember it? And they have to understand that it's going to take you more repetitions because of what you've had to go through.
But a lot of people don't know it. My job doesn't know it. I mean, my job where I'm working now does. I mean, I told him about the short-term memory and the brain fog, but I've never used that in my past. Since I've had the stroke, and since I've been through all the chemo and all the cancers and stuff, I've never used that as a reason not to excel. And I've excelled because I've learned how to overcome it.
But my question I'm going to ask you is, since you've made it known to your job or your jobs that you've worked in the past,
I've never
have they ever used it
as
you?
an excuse. No.
No, I'm saying not you, but
No.
has the other jobs ever say, well, he has a problem, well, we're going to kind of hold him back, kind of thing, you know what I'm saying?
No, I've never, even teaching. And let me tell you what, teaching something to students and having short-term memory loss and having the brain fog, it was very difficult. But I figured out ways to get around that. I figured out ways to get them involved and learn. Because I did forget things. So if I was going to do a lesson, I had to read what I was going to do on my lesson and then read it again and make sure I had what I want. I just didn't overload myself with too much when I did the lesson. You know what I'm saying, Kevin?
I know what you're saying.
Because he taught, so he understands that your lesson you want to keep it short and brief to where they're going to understand it. And I would read with them in the book and everything, and here's another factor that comes into play. Now we all learn differently, so I've found ways that I learn better and where I retain more information on the short-term memory loss. And one is I can listen to a CD as far as somebody talking versus me reading their book, but listening to the audio part of a CD. I mean, audiobooks. Anybody know what an audiobook is?
Yeah.
Kevin, you know what an audiobook is, right?
I do.
By using an audiobook, especially on college tutorials as far as my books, all of them came with audiobooks. So I would read a lot, but I would also listen to the audiobook as a backup for the things that were important that I needed to remember. And I was able to retain a lot better. For some reason, audio learning is more retainable. And also video movies and stuff, video also helps. So, there's multiple ways of learning. If you're kinesthetic, if you're audio, if you're visual. But doing them all is a way for those people to overcome that, Yeah.
See, and I have the opposite issue. I don't listen to it at all. When I read it, I remember it. I didn't. And the crazy thing is that had I realized this earlier, I would have been much better off. But I was sitting in an Islamic history class at University of North Florida, and I was taking a test, and suddenly it hit me. I remembered the exact page that the answer to the question was on and the exact paragraph where it was. And at that point, I realized that when I read something, if I truly read it, I will remember where I saw it, what it said, and I can almost quote it verbatim. And had I realized that sooner, I would have been so much better off.
So you're saying if you comprehend properly during that reading of the text, and you comprehend what the text was, then you'll remember everything.
Yeah, somewhat. It's kind of like I understand it and I comprehend it. That's not the issue. Mm-hmm. The issue for me was always pulling it out of my head, because I could tell you what it said. I could explain it to you what it said. But getting it from here down on paper was the issue. So it wasn't until I realized that I could see the pages in my head that I could translate it from my brain to paper. So had I known that back when I was in high school, I probably would have been much better off.
Well, that was the hardest part of school, was writing papers, because I would read a lot of material and a lot of research, and I'd have to print it all out because I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go back. I knew it, but I didn't remember it. Go ahead.
What I've noticed in teaching is that most boys I can't speak for men because I never taught adults, but most boys, the hardest thing for them to do is to take what they've read and then put it on paper without having that sitting next to them to refer to. It's I had to. It took a lot for me to convince teachers that I worked with that they had to give their kids a hard copy of what it was they wanted them to write about. Because if you wanted them to write about an article, they had to have the article. They couldn't just read it and then spit it back out. It didn't work that way. So they had to almost always have the hard copy. Girls, I don't know what it is about girls, but girls don't necessarily need that, whereas the majority of the boys I taught required a hard copy, and even I do to this day require a hard copy of my research sitting with me so that I can refer back to it when I write.
Well, all I have to say is thank God for Windows 7 and 8 because it's so much easier because you just minimize into a window.
Well, the Windows 8, you can split it up and you can have one half of the screen your article and the other half what you're writing.
Exactly.
You know, I'm working on a blog right now, and it has been an absolute godsend to have that split screen where I can look at what I'm referring to and then be able to type
what you want. Yep.
Exactly.
Well, all right, let's go back to Mr. Lewis and let him finalize the show. And
hold on, what the heck? Just tell me. I'm just kidding.
We just threw it to you.
I'm telling you. I was getting all comfortable over here. I was like, lean back. Oh, sorry. Just kidding. All right, guys. I want to appreciate you guys and say thank you so much for putting together a great show. Hey, listen. Even though that we got distracted for the first 45 minutes because of the question, it still turned out to be a great show. Again, we'll go ahead and thank the Iceman, Kevin, Tapee, and also a very special thank you to the Professor, Michael Benson. Don't forget, we'll be back next Tuesday night for the Weekend Rundown.
And your prop, Kevin.
Yeah. Next week, next week you guys gotta have props. I'll be looking forward to that.
All right.
You guys,
I think I can get something.
You guys started the trend. Now you guys are in trouble. All right, guys. For more information on the show, you can head on over to our official website, www.102dlgradio.com, and please take the time to support our program. Feel free to go on over and donate. Again, head on over to our official website, www.102dlgradio.com. Until next time, we'll see ya when we see ya. Don't forget, this Tuesday night, 7 p.m., the Professor, the Iceman, and yours truly. We'll see you guys soon. Y'all be easy.
Out of here.
Take a selfie.
This is an open letter to all bullies. As a child, I would arrive at school each morning with a pit in my stomach, fearful of the day that lay ahead. To me, the school hallways never represented a place of learning and opportunity. Rather, it was a landmine of fear and humiliation. You may not call yourself a bully, but you know who you are. You are the cyberbully who posts hateful comments about others online. You are the high school gangs who prey upon minorities because of their ethnic background. You are the bigots who commit hate crimes against those with a different sexual orientation. You are the teacher that looked away and pretended nothing happened. You are a bully. You try to mask your insecurities with your aggression. You mask your fear by instilling fear in others. The truth is, you are weak and I am strong. My strength comes from the sacrifices of generations that came before me. My strength comes from the community that stands behind me and the peers that surround me. My strength comes from the fundamental belief that we are all equal and deserve to be treated with decency and respect. And it is with that same decency and respect that I ask you, I urge you, please stop the bullying.